20 famous food traditions that we want back. Food has always been a cornerstone of human connection. And over the decades, many beloved food traditions have woven themselves into the fabric of American culture. These traditions brought families and communities together, creating a sense of warmth and unity that many of us long for today. Let's take a nostalgic journey back to explore 20 famous food traditions that we want back. Picture this: the comforting aroma of a Sunday roast filling the air, a TV dinner neatly nestled on a tray, or the communal joy of a fondue party. These nostalgic food traditions weren't just meals. They were moments that brought families and communities together. Join us on a mouth-watering journey as we explore 20 famous food traditions that we dearly miss and wish to see revived. 1. TV dinners. Remember the thrill of popping a TV dinner into the oven and settling in front of the television with the family? In 1954, Swanson revolutionized the American dinner table with the introduction of the TV dinner. These convenient pre-prepared meals were neatly portioned into compartments on a tray, perfectly fitting into the emerging TV-centric lifestyle. Families could enjoy their favorite shows without skipping dinner. By the late 50s and 60s, it had become a cultural icon, embodying the essence of modern convenience. Everyone remembers those iconic aluminum trays, each section keeping the peas, carrots, and mashed potatoes from mingling. Marketed as a time saver for the busy household, these dinners resonated during an era when more families had both parents working. The ads played up the freedom from the kitchen, pitching TV dinners as the go-to solution for a fast-paced American life. 2. Victory gardens. What if your backyard could contribute to national resilience? Victory gardens, also called war gardens, were home gardens planted during World War II to boost food production and help alleviate pressure on the public food supply. This initiative, which started in 1942, was part of the civilian war effort and encouraged citizens to cultivate vegetables, fruits, and herbs in their backyards and public parks. During the war, about 20 million victory gardens were planted across the United States, producing approximately 40% of all the fresh vegetables consumed in the country. The gardens peaked in popularity from 1942 to 1945, allowing individuals to contribute directly to the war effort. A standout feature of victory gardens was their ability to foster a sense of self-reliance and patriotism. After the war, they fell out of favor with the end of rationing and the resurgence of commercial agriculture. 3. Milkman deliveries. Who doesn't miss the days when fresh milk in glass bottles was delivered right to your doorstep? Milkman deliveries, a service that started in the United States in the late 19th century, became particularly popular in the 1950s as suburban living expanded. This service involved daily deliveries of fresh milk and other dairy products to households, typically in iconic glass bottles. Milkmen were a familiar sight in neighborhoods, known for their reliable early morning deliveries. The peak of milkman deliveries coincided with a time when few households had refrigerators capable of storing large amounts of perishable goods, making daily deliveries essential. The most remembered aspect of this service is the milkman's role as a community figure who not only delivered milk but also served as a friendly, trustworthy presence in neighborhoods. The decline of this tradition came with the advent of supermarkets and improved home refrigeration, offering greater convenience and variety, shifting consumer habits. 4. Tupperware parties. Imagine a time when socializing meant gathering at a friend's house to check out the latest kitchen innovations. Tupperware parties took off in the 1950s, introduced by Tupperware Brands Corporation as an innovative marketing strategy. These home-based selling events saw hosts inviting friends and family over to check out and purchase Tupperware products. The popularity of these parties peaked in the 1970s, combining social gatherings with business opportunities, especially for women. The unique selling point of Tupperware parties was showcasing the product's durability and utility. particularly the airtight seals that kept food fresh longer. The parties were set in a casual, friendly atmosphere where the host demonstrated the products while guests enjoyed snacks and socialized. Tupperware parties created an empowering environment, offering innovative, durable kitchen products and a fun social selling model, making them a standout phenomenon in direct sales. 5. Soda fountains. Delightful fixtures of American drugstores, going strong since the late 1800s. They hit their stride in the mid to 20th century as places where folks mingled over milkshakes, sodas, and ice cream sodas. These charming spots became central to social life, peaking in popularity in the 1940s and 1950s. The soda jerk, as the attendant was called, would mix various flavored syrups into carbonated water, creating delightful drinks on demand. Customers often sat on stools at the counters, enjoying their treats in a lively atmosphere. Soda fountains offered a unique charm, providing a space where people of all ages could gather, socialize, and enjoy refreshments. However, they declined with the rise of fast food restaurants and changes in retail practices as quicker service models became more popular, overshadowing the slower, more social soda fountain experience. 6. Salad bars. There was a time when dining out healthily meant heading straight for the salad bar. Salad bars started to become popular in restaurants during the health-conscious 1970s. The first modern salad bar is credited to the restaurant R.J. Grunt's in Chicago, which introduced the concept in 1971. These self-service stations allowed diners to customize their salads with a variety of fresh ingredients, including greens, vegetables, proteins, and dressings. Salad bars were initially introduced to meet growing consumer demand for fresher, healthier dining options. Their peak years were in the late 1970s and 1980s, when they became a staple in both casual and upscale eateries. However, their prevalence has declined due to heightened food safety concerns and the costs of maintaining a wide variety of fresh produce. 7. Instant coffee. Instant coffee wasn't just for emergencies. It was a daily staple for many busy households. Made from brewed coffee beans that are then freeze-dried or spray-dried, instant coffee became widely available in the United States after World War II. It gained traction in the 1950s and 1960s as a convenient alternative to traditionally brewed coffee. Preparing instant coffee simply involves adding hot water to the dried coffee granules, making it ideal for a quick cup at home or on the go. The peak popularity of instant coffee was during the 1970s, aligning with the fast-paced lifestyle of many Americans. Instant coffee played a memorable role in American pop culture, often associated with busy work environments and quick coffee breaks. While its popularity stemmed from its ease of use and consistent flavor, instant coffee has since declined with the rise of artisanal coffee culture. As we savor the memories of soda fountains buzzing with laughter and milkmen delivering fresh bottles to doorsteps, it's clear these traditions weren't just about food, they were threads weaving the fabric of American life. But where did these beloved rituals go? And could their revival bring back a taste of the togetherness we crave in today's fast-paced world? Let's dig deeper into the flavors and stories that shaped our culinary past. 8. Ice cream socials. Who could resist the charm of gathering with neighbors for a scoop or 3 of homemade ice cream? Ice cream socials are community events where people gather to enjoy homemade ice cream, often organized by churches, schools, or neighborhood groups. These socials were particularly popular in the United States during the early to mid-20th century. The peak era of ice cream socials was in the 1950s when they served as a popular summer activity that brought communities together. These events often included games, music, and other festivities, enhancing the communal experience. However, The popularity of socials has declined with the rise of other forms of entertainment and the widespread availability of ice cream. 9. Baking contests. Remember the excitement of competing in a local baking contest? These events have been a staple of American fairs and community events, gaining prominence in the mid-20th century. Baking contests allow individuals to showcase their baking skills, competing in categories like pies, cakes, and bread. The first official American baking contest was the Pillsbury Bake Off, which started in 1949 and remains one of the most prestigious baking competitions today. Other contests, often held at county fairs, showcased regional specialties like apple pies and fruitcakes. Baking contests peaked in the 1950s and 1960s, coinciding with a broader interest in home baking and community activities. These events have declined due to changes in lifestyle, with fewer people baking at home. 10. Automat restaurants. Known for their coin-operated food dispensers, first appeared in the United States in the early 20th century, reaching peak popularity in the 1950s. These establishments offered freshly prepared dishes behind small glass windows that customers could access by inserting coins. The experience was unique, blending fast food convenience with the quality of freshly made meals in a cafeteria setting. Customers loved the novelty and efficiency of serving themselves in an era when self-service was rare. The iconic memory associated with automat restaurants is the futuristic feel of getting food from a machine, a concept that fascinated people. Automats were popular due to their affordability, efficiency, and the fun of using the coin-operated mechanism. However, their decline came with the rise of fast food chains offering quicker service and extensive menus. 11. Fondue parties. The ultimate way to bond over a bubbling pot of goodness. Popular in the United States during the 1960s and 1970s, they were all about gathering around a communal pot of melted cheese or chocolate, where guests dipped in various foods like bread, fruits, or vegetables. These events became a hallmark of communal dining, cherished for their interactive nature and warm, intimate atmosphere. The tradition originated in Switzerland in the 18th century as a way to use up leftover cheese and bread. The appeal of fondue parties lay in the unique experience of cooking together at the table, blending good food with good company in a fun and interactive manner. It created memorable social gatherings where the shared activity of dipping into the fondue pot fostered a sense of connection and enjoyment. Their decline can be attributed to changing dining habits and the emergence of new food trends. 12. Sunday roast. Nothing says family time like a traditional Sunday roast. This cherished meal, featuring roast meat, potatoes, and vegetables, has been a beloved tradition for generations. The origins of the Sunday roast can be traced back to 15th century England, where it became a staple of British cuisine. In the United States, the tradition gained prominence in the early 20th century, especially among families who valued gathering for a hearty meal after church. The peak of Sunday roast dinners was during the mid-20th century, when it symbolized family togetherness and a sense of ritual. The decline of the roast can be attributed to busier lifestyles and the increasing popularity of diverse dining options. 13. Supper clubs. Step back in time to an era where dining out meant a full evening of entertainment. Supper clubs, particularly popular in the 1930s, saw a resurgence in the 1950s and 1960s as fashionable dining establishments offering a complete evening of entertainment. These clubs typically offered dinner, dancing, and live music, becoming a go-to for a night out. The peak era of clubs featured elegant settings, often with a touch of glamour, where patrons enjoyed a leisurely dinner followed by entertainment. They were celebrated for their ability to combine fine dining with social activities, creating a memorable and upscale experience. The decline of supper clubs came with changing social habits and the rise of casual dining and home entertainment options. Imagine the sizzle of a pig pickin' feast, the communal joy of a clam bake by the shore, or the vibrant colors of a Jell-O mold at a family gathering. These iconic food traditions not only filled stomachs, but also created lasting memories. Join us as we uncover their cultural significance and ponder whether a revival could bring back a taste of tradition we sorely miss. Stay tuned for a journey through time and flavors. 14. Pig pickin'. A southern U.S. tradition involves cooking a whole pig over an open flame or in a smoker, often accompanied by an array of side dishes. This tradition peaked in the latter half of the 20th century, particularly in North Carolina and South Carolina. Pickins were often community events, bringing together friends, family, and neighbors for a day of feasting and socializing. The preparation of the pig, typically seasoned and slow-cooked for several hours, was a highlight of these gatherings. The atmosphere of a pig pickin' is relaxed and festive, with plenty of food, music, and good company. However, this tradition has seen a decline with changing food preferences and the increasing availability of alternative dining options. 15. Clam bakes. A northeastern coastal tradition involved cooking clams, corn, potatoes, and other seafood in a pit oven, typically dug in the sand. This method of cooking, often associated with Native American traditions, has been popular in the United States since the 1800s. It peaked in popularity during the 1960s and 1970s, especially during summer gatherings on the beach. The communal preparation and cooking process, involving layering seaweed, hot stones, and the food in the pit, made clam bakes a memorable event. The decline of clam bakes can be attributed to increased regulations, costs, and the availability of seafood restaurants offering similar experiences without the need for extensive preparation. 16. Jell-O molds. Who could forget the sight of a perfectly molded Jell-O dessert at a family gathering? Jell-O molds, featuring gelatin desserts often filled with fruits, vegetables, or whipped cream, were a popular culinary trend from the 1950s to the 1970s. These colorful, wobbly creations were a staple at family gatherings, potlucks, and holiday dinners. The peak of molds coincided with the post-war era's fascination with convenience foods and inventive culinary presentations. Jell-O molds were celebrated for their versatility and visual appeal, with creative home cooks experimenting with various flavors and fillings. The decline of molds can be linked to changing food trends, with a shift towards fresher, less processed foods and a move away from overly decorative dishes. 17. Casserole dinners. A mainstay of American family meals from the 1950s to the 1980s. These one-dish meals, baked in the oven, combined ingredients like meat, vegetables, and pasta or rice, often topped with cheese or breadcrumbs. The convenience of casseroles, which could be prepared in advance and cooked later, made them a popular choice for busy families. The peak of casserole aligned with the rise of processed foods and canned soups, often used as bases for these dishes. Casseroles were cherished for their simplicity and ability to feed a crowd, often featuring in church suppers, potlucks, and family gatherings. However, the popularity of casserole dinners has declined as dining habits evolved, with a growing emphasis on fresh, health-conscious meals and more diverse culinary options. 18. Cocktail parties. Cocktail parties were the height of sophistication in the 1950s and 1960s. These significant social events were characterized by an elegant atmosphere and a selection of appetizers and cocktails. These gatherings were often held in the early evening, providing a space for socializing before dinner. The peak of cocktail parties coincided with the post-war economic boom and the rise of suburban living, where homeowners hosted friends and neighbors. These parties were celebrated for their sophistication and the opportunity to enjoy classic cocktails like martinis, Manhattans, and old-fashioned. Guests would mingle while enjoying small bites like canapés, cheese, and crackers. The decline of parties came with changing social trends, where more casual and relaxed gatherings became the norm, and the rise of bars and restaurants as preferred social venues. 19. Potluck suppers. The epitome of communal dining, popular in the mid-20th century. These gatherings were community meals where each guest contributed a dish to share. These gatherings were common in churches, schools, and community centers, fostering a sense of camaraderie and shared responsibility. The peak era of potluck suppers was the 1950s and 1960s, when they served as a popular way to bring people together and share homemade dishes. Potlucks were cherished for their communal spirit, offering a diverse array of foods and a chance for everyone to contribute. However, the popularity of potluck suppers has declined as community bonds have weakened and lifestyles have become busier with fewer opportunities for communal dining. 20. Microwave ovens. Introduced in the late 20th century, revolutionized food preparation methods with its ability to quickly heat and cook food. It became a household staple in the 1980s, offering unprecedented convenience for reheating leftovers, defrosting, and cooking a variety of dishes. The peak of microwave oven use coincided with the rise of convenience foods and the fast-paced lifestyle of many American families. Microwaves were celebrated for their efficiency and ease of use, making meal preparation faster and more accessible. However, the popularity of microwave cooking has declined as people have become more health-conscious and interested in fresh, home-cooked meals, often preferring traditional cooking methods for better taste and nutritional value. It's clear that they brought people together and created a sense of community that many of us long for today. While our lifestyles and culinary habits have evolved, the essence of these traditions remains timeless. They remind us of a slower, more connected past, where food was not just sustenance, but a way to bond with family, friends, and neighbors. Reviving these traditions could bring a touch of that warmth and unity back into our modern lives, reminding us that sometimes the old ways are worth cherishing. What food traditions do you miss the most? Have you already revived any in your household? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more nostalgic content. Let's keep these delicious memories alive together.